Top 10 parents who took punishment to a whole new level. Kids can be troublesome, and if you don't punish them accordingly, they can turn out to be real menaces in society. Most parents consider timeouts, withholding precious items, or being grounded to be reasonable punishment methods. A few others consider leaving your child in a bear-infested forest or punching your child's nose till it bleeds to be reasonable methods. Both have the same goal, but use entirely different methods. Today, we discuss 10 parents who took it too far to punish their kids. As you get ready to watch the most unbelievable actions parents are capable of, hit the Viral Now subscribe button and turn on notifications. 1. How about a broken nose to teach you a lesson? Travis Sellers, a 17-year-old, walked out of his class after an altercation with a teacher. When his father found out, he was mad. Not at his son walking out, but at the fact that he didn't call him to explain what had happened at school. He opted to punish the child with the whole world watching. What came after left the whole world in disbelief. A whole 3 minutes of a grown man punching his son's face as a way of getting him to learn from his mistakes on Facebook Live. Who does that? We later see Travis in a shirt drenched with blood reeling in pain. The video went viral and more than 1.5 million people watched it. Parents, grown-ups, kids, teachers, doctors, everyone was outraged. Who wouldn't be? Social services had to intervene, and the kid was taken into foster care while investigations went on. This Virginia father was taken into custody and released after a $5,000 bail awaiting trial. 2. Shaved head and a diaper. Darna Landrum and Stephanie Ann Broden showed us that parents could be the worst bullies. When Stephanie's daughter failed in school, they decided to punish her in the most brutal way possible. They shaved all the hair on her head, got her to strip, forced her into diapers, and ordered her to go outside to collect garbage. They refused to let her in, leaving her out for the neighbors to watch. She became hysterical, begging and crying for her parents to let her in, but the two didn't budge. They let her stay there as the number of spectators grew. What kind of parents are these? Clearly, not everyone deserves to be a parent. Luckily, the police were called by a neighbor and the two parents were arrested. They received 90 days in jail. 3. Let's leave you in this bear-infested forest. Takayuki Tanuka and his wife had a brilliant idea. They sat down together, perhaps over a cup of tea, asking, what would be the best way to punish our son for throwing stones at cars? Then voila! A magical idea popped up. Let's leave him in a bear-infested forest. Miyamoto, the 7-year-old, had to bear the consequences of his parents' incredible reasoning capacity, so they drove him to one of the forests in Japan with the highest number of bears and left their son. After a couple of minutes, a light bulb must have popped in one of their brains and they came back to their senses. They went back to pick up their son, but it was too late. He was not in the same spot they had left him. Over the next 6 days, more than 150 people went on a search rampage to find the boy. He was later found in an abandoned military base. He had been surviving on water only and was extremely malnourished. The poor boy had to be rushed to the hospital, but luckily he survived. No charges were pressed on the parents despite the outrage from people all over Japan. Talk about a lesson learned the hard way. 4. Locked up in a cage. I don't see how any parent could lock their child in a cage for more than 10 hours, let alone an autistic one. Well, a couple from California aren't quite the ideal role models for other parents. They had a cage the size of an extra-large kennel with a mattress where their child would spend hours in after misbehaving. After an anonymous tip, the police visited the parents and arrested the two for child abuse. The child was traumatized, and together with 2 of his siblings, they were taken into protective custody. Their parents, Loy Vu and Tracy Lay, are awaiting trial and could face serious prison sentences for endangering children's welfare and false imprisonment. We hope justice will prevail. 5. Hot sauce. The Dr. Phil Show hosts people with deep, dark secrets that you could have never guessed. If you want to watch some of them, hit the subscribe button and watch our unbelievable videos. The show has featured some of the strangest moms, one of them being Jessica Beagley. In 2011, she appeared on the show during a series called Mom Confessions. On air, she was confronted about her inhumane behaviors towards her adopted son. Her daughter had recorded a 10-minute video where we see her forcing the little kid to take a lot of hot sauce and stand under a cold shower as she shouted at him. The crowd went berserk. Other moms were crying, some throwing shade at the woman, and others were just too shocked to react. She finally admitted that she was wrong to punish her child in that way and was open to changing her ways. This was not enough, as the police soon arrested her after the show. She was sentenced to 3 years of probation, a $2,500 suspended fine, and a 180-day suspended jail term. 6. Medieval fight. A 16-year-old was handed over a wooden sword, a shield, and a whole outfit which she was to use to fight through a medieval battle. Her crime? Going to a party without permission. The girl was forced to fight for a whole 2 hours, after which she collapsed from exhaustion. After the fight, she was forced into a separate room and ordered to strip down, revealing several bruises. She was later also forced to watch a whole sermon from a preacher on TV. Freeman Say, her father, is believed to be a live-action live play enthusiast. He was arrested and charged with assault with a weapon. His wife was charged with being an accessory to a crime. Their court trial is still awaiting judgment. 7. Stuffed in a box with pins. An Ohio couple pleaded guilty to using plastic storage boxes sealed with tape with only a small square air cutout to punish their 3 kids. The prosecutor stated that their 3 children, aged 8, 6, and 5, were crammed right into the boxes with pins and left there. In this one instance, the parents left the kids in the boxes and went to the grocery store. A neighbor arrived at the house and set the kids free and called the police. James Taylor, the father of the kids, pleaded guilty to unlawful restraint and child endangerment. He was given a year in jail. His wife, Samantha Taylor, pleaded guilty to the same charges but got 2 years of probation. There had been no indication that this punishment choice was common in their household, but authorities uncovered that this was just a part of their sick, abusive cycle that the parents had. At other times, the kids would have heavy weights dropped on their feet. In another instance, water was dumped on the 3 kids while they were restrained in totes. The children were taken away from the parents and left under the care of their relatives. 8. Burning face with an iron box. A slight burn from a hot iron box results in excruciating pain. I wouldn't want to imagine half my face burnt off. Well, this is how Hope Askew decided to punish her daughter. The Houston mother apparently got angry when her 10-year-old wasn't reading a book properly. She got agitated with the wrong pronunciation of words, and instead of helping her child, she burned her face twice. This incident happened in April 2011 in their Northeast Houston house. After the event, the girl was left in immense pain, and the mother never took her to the hospital. She went to school the following day, and when the nurse asked her, she said the injury had been caused by an accident where she hit a hot skillet. A family member who was aware of what had happened reported the abuse to Child Protective Services, which led to the arrest of the uncouth mother. Askew was released on a $10,000 bail and was given court dates the following month. Sometimes you just sit back and wonder how some parents reason. 9. Dog poo punishment. Sergeant Grady Macknick and his wife decided to punish their child in the worst way possible. The couple applied a series of inhumane punishments on their 14-year-old for several weeks after coming home late and not getting good grades in school. For 5 months, the parents forced him to sleep outside on the dog's mat. He was not allowed to get inside the house to use the washroom. He wore dirty clothes and was only given clean clothes after earning them. The parents once put dog poo in his backpack, and he just found out later when getting to school. Disgusting. The report reached authorities, and the parents were charged with child abuse. Grady, the father, was sentenced to 6 months in jail, while the mother was given 120 hours of community service. Their child was taken into custody until their parents were deemed fit to take them back. 10. Chicken coop prison. In 2012, Miss Franklin, the mother of an adopted 15-year-old, was sentenced to 190 days in prison for abusing her child. As a punishment, she would hold her child captive in a chicken coop, tie her by her neck to a tree, and electrocute her with a remote-controlled dog collar. And what was her crime? Not completing her schoolwork. Social workers came to the rescue and took the girl away from her mother after an anonymous tip from her neighbor. The parent was arrested and sentenced in court. When the girl got to 18 years of age in 2015, she testified against her mother in court, claiming she had been experiencing post-traumatic stress disorders from the incident. She said that she would often get nightmares, anxiety attacks, and flashbacks. The mother was further sentenced and taken back to jail. There's a fine line between tough love and abuse. Some parents clearly don't know where that line is. And for this reason, if you suspect any child is being mistreated, call the police or Child Protective Services immediately. We are disgusted and appalled at what parents can do to their offspring. Let's do whatever it takes to keep our children safe and these abusive parents far away from them. If you liked our video, leave us a comment and subscribe to the channel. We release new videos every other day. You don't want to miss out. Thanks for watching and have an excellent day.